Hi, my name is Erica and I'd like to share my story with you today. I met Justin, my husband now, 7 years ago. I think it's more 6.5 at this point. I think when we met, it was love at first sight. It was one of those things that we actually knew each other beforehand, but we never really talked until that one day, and it was just from there on we were just together all the time. I guess we started talking that one night and then we just never wanted to not talk anymore after that. He became my best friend and we would just enjoy each other's company. After a couple months of everything being so great, I was totally, in my head I was thinking, well, this is the perfect occasion. Since everything is going so well, we can just move in together. That would solve a lot of things. Anyway, we're together all the time, so why not just, rent is cheaper, it's cost effective, we don't have to do the whole commute, going back and forth. And Justin wasn't really excited. He wasn't excited. He never really felt comfortable with the idea. He would always say, well, it's not exactly what we should be doing, but he agreed, and we moved in together. Everything was going great, and then after the holidays, this was probably 4 or 5 months down the road, it just sort of felt like things were not going well. It was just, our relationship was sort of on the rocks. It was just more, I couldn't even tell you exactly what happened or why it felt different, but it was just not going well. And at the same time, Justin had started a small group at church, and there were some of the leadership of the church was in this small group with him leading. And every time he would come home from the group, he would bring a subject up that we shouldn't be living together, and this is not what really God wanted us, and that's not His plan, and it's not correct. It's not how God intends to have our life. So when the discussion came up that, well, we shouldn't be living together, in my head that was, well, what do you mean? We should be going forward to get married and not backwards to moving back and being separated. So I wasn't really understanding it. I was just looking at it as a bad thing, not a good thing. Finally, in March, after again another conversation, I decided to move out, and probably that was the lowest point that night driving to my sister's house. I had imagined that, once moving in, the next step would be marriage and not moving out. I think the moment when everything changed was one night I was over at my girlfriend's house, and Michelle was talking to me, and she was telling me that, again, and this was not the first time that she has talked to me about it, how God has a perfect plan and everything happens for a reason, and that He knows exactly what I need. And if Justin is that person, then it will happen. If not, then there's somebody else out there for me. So that night, driving home to my sister's house, I was crying and suddenly just felt like God was with me in the car. I felt that He was talking to me, and He was just, why can't you just trust me? Like, that's the one thing that I want you to just trust me, and everything, have faith that I have your best intentions in my heart. I just sort of said, okay, God, I'm giving it to you. And in that moment, everything changed. As it turns out, things just really started going well after. He did get engaged after a month and a half and got married a year later, and we just celebrated 4 years of marriage. So if this is your situation, and you, as it was mine, and you are currently living together, I would say that moving apart, now looking back, was the best decision that we made. I know that there are moments when, in that particular moment, I don't see the greatness of God. I don't see His plan, and I question why. And sometimes maybe I'll never understand it. but I just have to live by faith.